So one thing I was curious about, after watching, the episodes, the old episodes over and over again, the amount of sound effects that they used, I was impressed with, and I always wondered if any of that came from the voice actors, just the different sound effects they would use, like, for blasts or stomping or whatever. I was just always curious if that was ever anything that they had you guys do.
I know Frank did.
Yeah.
Frank did a great deal of Walla things that were specific to his characters, a lot of it. For me, no. The only thing, again, Wally specific.
Right.
Script specific. Say your line, get the hell out.
The second question I have is for John. Would you mind give us a little bit of the Micro Machine Man?
The Micro Machine Man, introducing the most miniature motorcaded micro machines ever, all smaller than a nut. Remember, it doesn't say micro machines, it's not the real thing.
I'm sorry.
Hello. This might be a bit of a weird question, but do you ever wish that maybe your characters were a bit more prominent? I don't think that really applies to John Moschitta. I mean, Blurr was very prominent in the show.
I'm going to let Joe.
What? More prominent?
Do you ever wish that your character was a little more prominent?
Well, no. It would be more embarrassing, I think. No, I'm sort of shy myself, and I just stay in the background and listen to the greats around me and take inspiration from that. That's enough. Now, sometimes you get a character and you think, well, this guy, you can go somewhere with him. But that was not my case in the Transformers, I'm sorry to say. But it was a lot of fun.
I didn't know when I auditioned for Snarl that in his bio it says, the quiet one. So that was not told to me by Wally when he said, would you like to do this? But yeah, I mean, in the movie, I had scenes that were edited out. That's the mysterious Dinobot thing. What happened to Snarl? And then they threw the Insecticons overboard. So, yeah, it would have been nice to have more reoccurrence, but I don't complain. It was a wonderful journey, and it still is. You all have extended this tenfold. Thank you for that.
Yeah, no, definitely. Thank you for remaining to be the fans. And it's not, it's not really so much how much you're in it, it's the impression that you leave people with. Because actually Blurr was not in that many episodes. And even though these particular characters may not have been in that many episodes, they left an impression. Mm-hmm. So people think they see them more than they see them. And of course, you'd love to be in it all the time because it's another paycheck. Every episode you're in, it's a paycheck. But whether you say one line or 50 lines in an episode, you don't get paid more money or less money. It is what it is. And you want to do something that people are going to like and people want to see. And, luckily for all of us, we really stepped in it with you guys because you love the stuff, and that's really great.
And this is the occupation where you have 3 voices for the price of 1.
Yeah.
Yes, baby.
Yeah.
And I just got lost in my own head. It's circling around, it's coming back. Okay. The thing that stands out to me is that this has been such an incredible gift. And the love that you guys give us. I mean, really, I keep saying it every time I go to a show. You guys are the reason we have an existence. Mm-hmm. And we owe you for that. And as far as prominence in a role, well, Once Cosmos was made a god. What else is there? God Gambit, baby. I have made it. No complaints.
Thank you.
No, is that himself damning it?
I'm back, sorry.
That's all right.
Exactly.
So I wanted to ask, what is your favorite character that you didn't voice act, and what would be your take on them if you had to voice act them?
Ooh.
You go to a lot of anime cons, don't you?
No.
You ask very interesting questions. Who is the person you're in the booth with when you look at it and say, I could do that line so much better. That's basically what you're asking us right now.
And give us that name.
And give us that name. Write it down.
Write it down
right now.
and then do the voice for us. Well, that's a pitfall you're asking us to step into.
Something that rhymes with pit.
That you step into. I'm going to pass on that because, quite honestly, I'm happy with the characters I did, and I think that everybody that I worked with was so supercharged and powerful in what they did that there's characters I would like to have done or even auditioned for, but hey, I filled my place. It's a blending of voices. It's an orchestration, and you have to figure out who the main characters are and how you can orchestrate your voice so you don't do something in their range so it's confusing. You have to position yourself, if you're doing 3 voices, to fit into the orchestration of the overall sound so that you can stand out and have your place, but everybody else has their place as well. Okay. So I think I'll just stick with who I did.
Yeah, I cannot begin to imagine whose performance I could possibly have improved. Not possible.
No, I'm
I don't mean improve. I mean, like, if you could have just done it. Maybe if your character's mocking them. What if your character's mocking them?
And you see this cast, and then you go see it 10 years later with another cast, it's still the same words, but it's a totally different experience because everyone brings their own personal thing to it. So what Wally was so good at doing was just putting this whole entire package together where everybody played off of everybody, they played to everybody's strengths, and it really worked together. So us doing it in a different way wouldn't have had the same picture or the same impact. It's just the way it worked out. And I used to just sit there in awe and just watch these people do the lines. It was, it's not easy making some of this stuff sound real. So
no,
it was great to be able to be part of that.
Okay. Joe, who would you do?
Who would I do? Well, I had several. I always like to do Paul Frees, the man that does the.
I worked with Paul.
He did the.
Boris Badenov and
yes, and of course the Haunted Mansion.
Yes.
Which I do now, but anyway, he was always my hero. I guess him and Orson Welles. The old radio voices, where they had resonance and people could feel them as they sat there in their chairs. They vibrated with the voice, filled the room. It took an awful lot of cigars and brandy to get voices like that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, okay, I wanted to ask, I know previously people have asked you guys what has been your favorite lines with your respective characters. What have been your least favorite lines with your respective characters?
I would just remind you, you're talking about something that happened. What anniversary is this?
40.
Those brain cells are no longer talking to each other.
No. Long ago, jettisoned. I don't know what I had for breakfast. It's hard to remember. Really anything else.
Then what's something that you wish your character would have said?
Anything in English would have been good for me.
I have had it with these mother-jumping skid marks on my mother-jumping retros. It's going to take me a week to buff those out.
We did just last year, and they ran them here for the anniversary of the movie. We did a bunch of stop motion things that addressed some of the little quirks in the TV show and the movie and try to explain them and whatever. And they gave me the opportunity to improv for those. So it was great fun because they just had me, just go, and I just start talking. And so that was a lot of fun, just being able to do that, where, everything else was also structured. They'd just say, okay, this is happening here, just say whatever you want. And then after I was finished, Clint Dill said to me, if we would have known you could have just done that, we wouldn't have to write anything for you. I was like, oh.
For me, I think it would be great if anybody remembered that Snarl was created to kick to kick the ass of that transformer that Grimlock. But everybody remembers Grimlock, and nobody remembers I kicked his ass. So short of that, I'm fine.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hi, I was just wondering if you guys can have a conversation in your guys' voice.
I'm not talking to these
What would you like to talk about? Joe, how are you this morning?
Fine.
Phlegm.
Tell me, why? What am I supposed to say? If I do, someone's going to shoot at me.
You no worry about that.
Yeah, we are just sitting up here. We're just talking. We're trying to do whatever we're going to do. I mean, we're sitting here. There's a whole room full of people here. Now they want us to talk like we're supposed to be talking, and I don't know what we're supposed to be talking about. So why don't we just talk about anything?
And I'm only his robot.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, so my question's for the panel. I'm sure you've been asked a lot of different questions over the years. Do you have a favorite question you've ever been asked?
Where's the bathroom?
Is this your $100 bill?
Are you my father?
I think I like all questions because that means I'm involved, and that means you're involved, and we're interested. So, hit me.
I mean, that was the question.
You're right.
Thank you.